Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to PCM21. It's career mode, and we are on episode 97. We're nearing the end of this Giro d'Italia, and after everything was going amazing, a backache turned into an absolute nightmare for us. Stage 17, where it all fell apart. Without our leading man, our two better riders both slipped out of the top 10 entirely. One with poor race day condition, one with, well, a mistake on my part. With Martin Guerrero losing a little bit of time as I was distracted with Isakov, who had a -4 when he was expected to have a +1 on the day. These guys are struggling to get forward. Let's go ahead and set a 75. This group looks like it's being chased down here relatively hard. +5 race day condition for Martin Guerrero looks fantastic. We are trying to get him into the break. I would love Gonzalez Albiol to also get up into the break, but he is way far down the order. And let's see, I can't even get him to move. He's not moving from the spot that he's anchored on right there. Those 7 riders are 1 minute ahead, but there's still a bit of a pursuit going on. 108 is the gap now. Martin Guerrero very much in the mix, looking good. Then 7 and Mataway, Donovan, Dina are here. You've got some good climbers, but only a minute 12 up the road. Peloton not too happy about this break, and you could see a lot of fatigue. It's Cat 2 that we're opening up with right off the bat, and then we have another Cat 1 in All's Cat and a Cat 1 just before the finish. Minute 20 the gap. Fatigue definitely a factor. Some of the guys not contributing, and the chase is still pretty much on. Gonzalez Albiol a little too far down at this stage to go join it.
The breakaway is not to everybody's liking. The Peloton has significantly increased its speed.
Okay, we're gonna sit on now. Martin Guerrero.
Now the guys up front are asking serious
use a little
questions
less
of the riders
energy.
in the rear, as more of them are left in the wake.
Out to a minute 34 as the front end of the field has changed who was doing the chasing. It opened up a little bit more of a gap. We do have Narbutas, Luco both to the back a little bit, or a lot. Down to 122 in the Peloton here on this first climb. It is easing off. Somebody got dropped. Dina.
The pack is slowly whittling away the lead. They're moving along at a fair
Points
rate.
leader.
You've just got to hang on.
Huh. Okay. Or is that the KOM?
Whoa, there's an
Maybe that's
attack
the
from inside
KOM.
the breakaway group.
Which jersey is that? Hagita's the points leader. Dina is the KOM leader, and he got dropped. Not that great of a climber. And we're seeing one rider go clear here, going for the KOM. That's Van Sevenant. He's only 15th in the classification. They are not that far ahead of the Peloton right now, which is not pleasing. 6 riders now at the front. 52 in the Peloton as there was a split. 45 now. Could they catch up to these guys and these 51 riders go clear, stay clear for the entirety of the race? Doesn't seem likely, but it's possible. Alright, these guys have made it to the front. Let's ease off for now. Let others do the chasing. 7 in no man's land.
The pack gave them no chance.
And it's done. Okay, let these two rest up. Minute 16, the gap over the chase. That's what we need to keep an eye on. It's a long time between the second and third climbs. I would imagine these 36 have a very good chance of getting back up there, which is the entirety of my team. In which case, 89 riders, if that stays away, I'd be thrilled because I'd have all 6.
Court Nielsen has fallen.
Magnus Cort Nielsen with the fall. Put him out the back. I do suspect that the riders that are well off the back are not going to get back up with the group today and actually run the risk of losing an enormous amount of time. Coleone attacking, one rider going clear, others trying to join them, which is causing the peloton to speed up at the moment. And that's 10 riders that have already gone clear. More trying to join them. Gonzalez Albiol, it's your turn, buddy. Let's go join the break. I'm not liking how many riders are clear at the moment, though. So I think I'm gonna sit up. I'm gonna be really annoyed, though, if the other 12 are perfectly fine for them to be gone away. I don't know why they would care about Gonzalez Albiol and not Martin Guerrero. They're one position apart in the standings, and they don't care. Are you kidding me? Umba from the break is down. So makes it 11 off the front. And we're letting them go away. Jumbo Visma likes this breakaway. It's like all the same riders. So what, they did care that Martin Guerrero was in it? Really effing hate this game sometimes when it does that bullshit. Van Seven 17th, Quintana 18th, 19th. Dina 9th place overall. This has nothing to do with us being in 14th and 15th. It had nothing to do with the number of riders that are away. When you play on extreme difficulty, the game despises you, and they will chase you down no matter who you put in the break. You could put your weakest rider, your lowest domestique in the break, and they chase it down 98% of the time. 2-minute gap. F this. Really pissed off right now. They chase down Martin Guerrero to the fault of destroying most of the peloton. They chase down Gonzalez Albiol. They don't give a shit about anybody else. Sorry. Excuse my language. I'm sick of that happening. This is why I don't send riders in the break. Because the game just doesn't let it happen. Why the hell would they care about us and not Dina? Dina's in the top 10. My guys are 6 minutes down compared to him. I have good race day condition for my guys. We're going to have to rely on that being a thing. And just go for it. Of course, we've wasted some energy for both Gonzalez Albiol and Martin Guerrero. 99 left here in the peloton after that Cat 1 climb. It's not a hard climb, but it did split off the field a second time. Some riders already getting back on. 343.
It looks like the pack has bitten the dust collectively.
I talked smack about the game, and the game smacked me in the face. I've had such terrible luck in this race. How far off the back are we? 2 minutes behind. Others have crashed. Others have crashed. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. But we lost almost 2 minutes on that crash. And of course, if we were in the break, it wouldn't be a big deal. Haven't recovered any time at this stage, even though we're going at a 93 with a 73 downhill. But now, Raybovis is closing that gap. Taking a little bit out of Gonzalez Albiol, but he will recover. Okay, let's go forward for just a second, make sure we're still in a decent position. Gap's 3 minutes to the front group. Gonzalez Albiol is wasted for a second time now before we've hit the climb. At least it happened early enough in the stage, and we did manage to recover, but I just cannot catch a break. Ribovas, Gonzalez Albiol not really recovering here. The pace, the tempo is just hot enough that he has not seen much recovery at all. Ribovas is exhausted. Let's switch up who is protecting who here. .141 and he's not recovering. Back off a little, he might recover somewhat. There you go. Already almost into the climb. Go ahead and gel up now. And protect Isakov. 4 minutes to those front riders now. They've got a shot at hanging on, but I doubt that they will. We're into the All's Cat. Because of all this distraction, I haven't gotten water. 60k to go. A lot of it climbing. 25k up this climb. 7%. Narbutas is definitely wasting a little bit of energy here, but luckily the pace not too bad at the moment, but it's not good. Narbutas, take the open gap and just get up there and be done with this, please. Oh my goodness. Life is cruel. Life is cruel. There you go. Okay, Ribovas. Take your chill pill, Gonzalez Albiol. Struggling at the back already. Isakov. Protect him. Luko. See you later.
They really are moving. The pack can't get strung out too far, or it's
Gonzalez
going to start
Albiol
breaking
has
up.
no hope at this point.
Acceleration
Martin
by
Guerrero's going to
Chacon.
have a good day. Down to 67.
This climb is feared by many riders. The percentages are very high.
Gel up for those 2. 3. Down to 55, and I'm going to be down to 1 here quite soon with 13k to go in this climb.
A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for the pack.
Narbutas
They
out the back.
obviously don't have anybody in the breakaway group.
Isakov
Breakaway at the front.
leading the way. Not to get split off though, and they are. Set them to auto. Hopefully Isakov can lead him along, and we're down to 1. Down to 34 in the peloton. Starting to catch up to the breakaway riders. Martin Guerrero hanging in there. Riding well, but he is getting fairly tired. 9k to go in the climb. Paulus attacks.
A rider is taking his chance
Carthy
alone.
attacks.
Falling behind. A team leader is falling behind.
Attacked by Carthy.
There's Dina. We've almost caught up to him. Still 8k. That's a lot of climbing to do. It's already 2 minutes to Gonzalez Albiol and Isakov. Taking turns doing the work back there. Down to 29 riders. Back up to 33. It was actually down to 25 there for a moment. Meaning our pace lifted. 5k to go. I would attack, but I don't have that kind of energy. 22. Pace picks up for just a moment, and away go the riders. 4k to go. Up the road, Carthy, still there. Paulus, Ciccone, Ferrante, Prunsky, and then Fabro, Carr, and at least 2 more up ahead. Vervecchi just taken over. 2.6. I think we can make a little move here. $2k to go. This is gonna split this group up in just a second. $1k to go. $900 meters. Down to 7. Okay, the game can't count. Down to 9. Push over the top, then set up and start my recovery. 9 riders left. Del Rue, Hagita, Vingegaard, Foss, Gegenhardt, Bokonoge, Martinez, and Vervecchi, mostly leaders. Back down to 8 now.
Watch out.
Martinez crashes. Big loss there. Okay, good recovery happening. So we're back up to 11. Off the front, things haven't changed much. Isakov, Gonzalez, Albiol, 5 minutes behind though. So there's 10 minutes of losses. We took 20 on the last climbing stage. We have 1 climbing stage remaining. That's 30 minutes of losses in 2 stages after losing Karaman. Back up to 12 riders. Martin Guerrero at full strength now, ready for the final climb.
What's going on?
20k to go from the finish line. Another big crash, and it's from Isakov and Gonzalez Albiol's group, I think. No.
15 kilometers left.
Group in front of them. Alright, just about to the base. We have 18k to go in the stage. We have 16k to go to the top of the climb. It's about a k and a half from the top of the climb to the finish line, so you're not done once you go over the top. And we are not yet climbing, but it's going to be a false flat already, 6%. It's going to ease off a little bit, but you can see we are at 5%. 13 now as we caught up to one of those riders, and now that group of 5, as one of them caught back up to them, is ahead of us. Quintana is that second rider up the road, looking for the stage win, but he is off the back of at least somebody. And 7int maybe. These guys are pushing right now, and we are running the risk of losing the wheel. There's no attack, and yet there's an attack. And we're about to get split off. Okay, we closed the gap. Barely.
10 kilometers to the finish line.
Recovering position. We've already nearly caught those 5 riders up there. Just like that. Come flying back at them. On the flat. It's supposed to be on the flat. Crazy tempo there. That's going to take a lot out of these guys. So instead of being at full strength when we start the final climb, there's not going to be much left in the tank. 10k to go. I'm ready for the early part of this climb because I have a feeling it's going to continue on in the manner that it just did.
Another attack.
Bookman pushing. Paulus pushing. Here goes Vingegaard. Hagita. Let's follow Hagita. And they have endless amounts of energy and just pushed on.
Oh my! I can see a rider on the tarmac.
Still 6k to go on the climb.
To get back in the race.
We've picked up a couple riders, but we are down to 11, so we've dropped 4. Ferrante, Pino, Bookman, and Vervecchi. Bookman was the one pushing at the front, so he's done his work for Vingegaard. And then 2 of the breakaway riders are dropped, having been caught and split off from their group. Carr was caught. Hagita somehow escaped off the front. And Carthy still there. There's Quintana, nearly caught. And just 9 riders or less left. Foss attack. I don't have the energy to go with this.
The rider has fallen, and he's not getting back up.
Riabovis.
Looks like he'll have to abandon the race. Falling behind. A team leader is
5k to go,
Holy
and
cow,
Martin Guerrero, even with his bonuses, just not strong enough compared to these guys. And he is effectively dropped. Van Sevenant has won the stage. I called that one. Oh, KOM. KOM points. Dina, Van Sevenant. Here's the top there. 1.5k to go to the finish.
The riders bringing up their rear have made it through sheer willpower. This stage was a real strength
let's
stepper.
sprint it out. As it eases off, we're all done, but I'm going to take that next position across the line. We don't know where the standings are, though, because the KOM showed up after. You have riders just now cresting the All's Cat. We have a long ways to go yet. Okay, Gonzalez Albiol approaching the line. 1K to go. He is 11.5 minutes down. Huge loss for him. Isakov just behind at 13:30. 44th and 49th on the stage. Martin Guerrero finished 11th today. It's a good day, especially if you count the fact that you had, 8 breakaway riders near the front? 7 breakaway riders. That meant we were 4th of the remainder. I don't know about that. I think we had about 8 guys in the Peloton. I just finished ahead of a few, albeit with me, maybe 14. So there was maybe 6 left from the break. But, of course, a lot of those breakaway riders, a few of them anyway, were in decent positions. Dina was in the top 10. You had another one near Martin Guerrero in placement. Quintana was up there. There was at least 3 riders that were up there. Others were around 25th. But the breakaway succeeded, or gained significant chunks of time. Why they are so opposed to us being in it is beyond me, but I had my rant about that already. You don't need to. 2.5 minute win. That helps tie things up a little bit. 5:06. So Foss, Carthy, they gained the most. Del Rue on same time as Martin Guerrero. Bokonoge as well. So those guys are going to miss out pretty big time on that one. A lot of big time riders behind Martin Guerrero by 1 to 2 minutes to 3 minutes even. Dina ends up 9 minutes down from 9th place. So he's going to drop back down the order. But Gonzalez Albiol is going to drop down the order yet further. So Foss leading the race by nearly 3 minutes over Hagita. Vingegaard is now on the podium. Was he even in the top 10? 6 minutes behind. A couple stages ago, I do not believe Vingegaard was anywhere near the top 10. And now he is on the podium. Bokonoge has slipped off the podium 4 seconds. Actually, I think he was 4th. He remains 4th. He was off the podium. He's just off the podium to somebody else now. Ciccone, who was a breakaway rider who gained a ton of time a couple stages ago, is now up to 5th. Del Rue has slipped to almost 9 minutes down in 6th. Carthy to 10 minutes down in 7th. Pronsky from the break into the top 10. Gegenhardt, Van Sevenent from the break into the top 10. Paulus, who attacked early on the Ulscat climb, I want to say, stayed away, gained some time. And Martin Guerrero yo-yos. A bunch of riders move ahead of him. A bunch of riders slip behind him. And at 13:07 down, he is still only 13th from 15th. His teammate, who was 14th, is now 18th overall. Should be easy to get in the break on that final climbing stage for either of them, really. For both of them, really. Quintana recovers a bunch of time. He's 17th. He was further back. Dina out of the top 10. Martinez out of the top 10. He also unlucky like me. He did have a crash. Gonzalez Albiol, of course, his big problem on the day was that crash and not getting the energy. He recovered. We brought him back up, but then they continued to push the tempo. They took advantage of his crash and they pushed. And where everybody else was fine because they already had the energy recovered on the descent and just stayed there and just the front riders were hurt, it was just fast enough that recovery was not happening. Gonzalez Albiol never recovered. Was that intentional? Was that a screw you towards us? Very well could have been. What else were they chasing over? Maybe that's a wild conspiracy theory. Probably is. Maybe not. Maybe not. The game has done similar things. Game, it's us versus them. On this difficulty level, it is always us versus all of them. They will always work with each other to bring you down. And we've I don't know. I think there's evidence to suggest that today is an example of that. Even though we're not even in the top 10, today is an example of that. Anyway, enough ranting. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm frustrated by what has transpired from going from a podium and 2 more riders in the top 10. 3 guys all in the top 10 to this mess. So that's my Alexa. Sorry. Not sure what it's up to unless I got my shipment that was supposed to be arriving tomorrow just arrived. Possibly. I'm going to move on. I'm sorry, I'm ranting. My bad. Top 10 is not completely out of reach, especially when you look at we have 3 minutes separating us from 7th. If we can recover. Terrible time trialist. Going to be hard to gain. Will gain, but how much I don't know. Going to be hard to gain. Definitely will gain plenty of time there and some time there. I'd say 3 of these guys we can gain a pretty good chunk of time on. Delru and above, too far above unless they really blow up on that last mountain stage. Hopefully they'll let us in the break finally so that we can be the ones to benefit for once. Because of the 12 guys ahead of Martin Guerrero, 6 of them, 7 of them are in the position they're in because they were in breakaways. They didn't win their stages. Van Sevenant, an exception on that. They didn't win their stages, but they gained huge chunks of time. 10, 15 minutes over being in 1 or 2 or 3 breakaways that survived while not being that far out of it overall. Gonzalez Albiol is absolutely far enough back to benefit from that. Martin Guerrero, maybe less so in 13th. But again, they let Dina in the break. They didn't think twice about it when he was in 9th. We are still 2nd in the team classification, but we are even further behind now. 12 minutes down on Ineos. Feels good to be that high. 3rd, 5th, 8th in the under 25s. This looks a lot like how the GC looked just a few short stages ago. Or should I say a few long stages ago. All right, folks. Well, 2 left. I should be able to squeeze that into 1 episode, but we'll see. I'm not intentionally milking this, but if you've paid attention to posts or comments or caught wind of mention over the last handful of episodes, real life has interfered, been busy. A couple examples, coach varsity basketball, and we've had 5 games in the last 9 days. Plus practices. Got a lot going on with the business. A lot going on. Life's been busy. People all around me. COVID everywhere. All over the U.S. right now. There are a zillion cases. My wife had it just a few weeks ago. That affected the business as well. It's been a time. It's been a time here these last few weeks. And I'm not yet clear of it. Busy. I'm just barely keeping up with being able to get as much content as possible. Almost normal amounts right now, but a few shorter episodes, a few missing episodes, and there's still a few more ahead. But hopefully we'll be back to something very normal very soon. That's going to do it for this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.